Hi guys, welcome to Salesforce Troop, and in this video we'll talk about the Summer 22 release features specific to Lightning Web Component. And as you know, most of the browsers has announced that they no longer will allow developer to use alert, confirm and prompt method of JavaScript in future. So to fix this issue, Salesforce has introduced three new base components: Lightning Alert, Lightning Confirm and Lightning Prompt. So in this video, we'll specifically talk about Lightning Alert and more about Lightning Alert. First, we need to understand where to use the Lightning Alert. So we use alert basically whenever we want to give certain information to a user or to stop user suddenly from doing something and bring his attention, right? That's where we use Lightning Alert. And to use this feature, first we have to have the Summer 22 pre-org release setup, and for that right now, because these features are not available in the general org, so for that we have to set up a new org. And this sign up form for pre-release Summer 22 I'll share in the link in the video description or somewhere, and you need to fill this form. Make sure you select the pre-release edition as developer and sign up. Once you signed up here, then you'll get the access to the org that supports Summer 22 features. And in this org I already created the Summer 22 specific one page, Lightning page inside the Sales app. And now let's go to our VS Code. So in my VS Code, I already set up the project, a new project, and I already connected my project with my org that is specific to Summer 22. And here what we're gonna do is we're gonna create our new Lightning web component. So you can click on view and go to command palette, or you can use the shortcut Control Shift P. And here we'll select the default option Lightning web component, and here I'm gonna give the name Lightning Alert Demo, and I'll take the default path. Now it created the our Lightning Alert Demo component, LWC component. As we are working on the first base component, that is Lightning Alert, so first we'll import that. Import Lightning Alert, and here actually the spelling is L capital Lightning and A capital from, and we have to import this from small lightning, that is small l slash alert. That's how it gets imported. Now we have the feature of Lightning Alert available in our LWC component. So what we're gonna do is we'll go to our meta file. Sorry. Sometimes keyboard behave very weird. So let's go to first our meta file, and let's make this component expose true so that we can place this component. And apart from that, we'll set the target where we want to place this component. And for this demo purpose, I'm using Lightning app page. So targets, and inside the target you can give any target that you want. So for my demo purpose, I'm using Lightning __ app page. Make sure it's double underscore, not the single one. Many times we do this mistake. And now this component is ready to expose to the Lightning pages. Now let's go to our HTML file, and inside the HTML file what we're gonna do is we'll create a Lightning card. We'll give some title, and title will give here as Lightning Alert Demo. And inside the Lightning card we're gonna create a button, Lightning button, and this Lightning button can have a couple of attributes. We'll give the label as well. Label, simply I'm giving alert. Apart from that, we can give class as well if you want any styling in this, but for now what I'm gonna do is I'll put a wrapper around it so my button will not touch each other. Or instead of that, I can give the margin class to my button itself. So I'll say class slds where medium, margin around medium, or instead of medium I'll go with small. And this is the class I have given so that my button will get some margin around it. And let's deploy this component. For deploying, we'll do right click, deploy source to org. It's get deployed now. Let's go to our org, refresh the page, and then we'll edit the page. So I'm on the summer 22 new lightning page. I'll click edit page, and here what I'm gonna do, I'll search my name of my component, lightning alert demo. I'll drag that the first column, and I created this lightning page with the 3-column layout. I'll hit save. Once it's saved, I'll come back, make sure it's saved. Sometime if not get saved, so it not show the card here. So this is the first step in which we make sure we created a lightning web component and it's exposed to the lightning page with the bare minimum structure. Now on click of this, nothing gonna happen right now. So let's go to our component and let's adding the logic around our alert feature. So to the button, whenever we want this, what we want basically is whenever we click this button, it should call our alert method. So for that, I'll say on click, and on click, what we want is we just want to give a method name alert handler. That's my method name. And what I'm gonna do is I'll copy this name and go to JS, and I'll create a method with this name. And inside this, I want to call my lightning alert, right? So first we'll go with the basic structure. This is a method, basically this is an object that gives a method called open. So whenever we want to call the alert, earlier we used to do this window dot alert. That's simple, and you'll just show the message hello, right? But now this is gonna be deprecating soon, so I'll just put the comment. We were using this, now we're gonna use this. Okay, so we import that lightning alert and we call the open method of lightning alert, and this open method will pass an object that contains certain features. So first feature is like whenever we want to show an alert, what's the basic requirement that we have? We want to pass the message that we want to show in the alert, and here we'll say this is alert. That's the message that you're gonna get. And in this specific Salesforce lightning alert, we have another advantage that with the alert we can give some labels and theming as well. So first we'll go with this basic structure and let's see if this works or not. On click of that button, I'll comment this one. We are not using this. I just want to call this, and it should take this message, and let's see if it throw any alert on the screen or not. Here agenda is not to just remember what's happening, but we need to learn the basic how things are working behind the scene. Okay, so that's basic thing that we are doing is we are saying we'll pass some message. Let's see on click of that lightning alert will open a alert with that message or not. So when I say alert, now you see it automatically giving a header called alert with some shade on the background of the header, and it's saying this is alert. That's the message that we passed. Make sure this is alert, the message and the header. Okay, and what we can do here is we can right now we don't have any background. The theming will come back to. So let's add some header as well. So the next property, so this is the basic requirement to open alert, right? But if you want a custom label basically to our this alert box, so we can pass another property label, and we can say I am alert header, and here we can see on the top this is the alert message. So now we have a message in the label. Let's deploy and see how it looks. So it's deployed now. Let's go and refresh the page. Now hit alert. Now you see, you can see the header as well. Now we are good with the header. Now we are good with the message, but I want some color that represent this alert is specific to error, or this alert specific to a warning or a information or something. So let's talk about the variants. Okay. So there is another property called variant. By default, it's nothing, and by default it looks like this, the state behind the scene. But if you want it to be a success one, so we can say success, right? And if we deploy, it will give a green color. Just for your reference, I'll put the comment: success is green, warning is yellow or orange. I'll say orange. Then we have error. Error always symbolize red, and then we have info, that is gray. Okay, so let's deploy and see whether the success message is working or not. And let's hit alert. Let's refresh it again. Make sure we are giving the correct name, correct spelling. So it's not working. Let's check it again. Variant is there. Oh, here instead of variant, it's theme. Sorry, I was just confused with the buttons variant, and here we calling it theme. And let's deploy this again. That's my bad. So let's go and refresh the page and hit alert, and then you can see there is a green background at the back. Similarly, you can pass red, orange, or basically warning, error, or info. For quick fix, what we can do is we'll just copy this whole and we'll create 3 buttons like this, and we'll say default alert, success alert, error alert, and label we can say other label is warning alert. So we have these, one more is there, that is info alert. So let's call the info alert as another option, and here we can say info alert. I'll give some space, and here we are calling this handler, but on click of the same handler I want to make sure whether the user has clicked the success alert button or a error button or something. So I'll put one property here, name, and I'll say for default I don't need any name, that is by default empty, and here we'll say success. Here I'll say error, and another one is warning, and the last one is info. And what I want is when I click, I should know what button has been clicked. So I'll, on every action at the HTML, we'll receive an event, and from event we will extract the name attribute, and we'll say name equal to event dot target. So basically I'm doing a destructuring here, and I'll take this name property and I'll pass this to theme. So theme will automatically adjust with that. You can dynamically add the text as well to the label. So if you want, you can use a backticks here, and I'll say I am. Whenever the success button gets clicked, it will print I'm a success alert header. When the warning, I'm warning alert header. And if you want, because we have given the small name theme always with the small letters, so if you want that to be capital, you can use two uppercase or something, but let's not complicate this demo, and let's deploy this. I refresh the page and I can't see the buttons. Let's refresh it again. Still not showing anything. Make sure the buttons are there. All there. Lightning button. Deploy it again. And now I refreshed and the buttons are coming. Sometime caching caused this issue. So let's click on the first button. And because we haven't given any name to the default one, so it picked up undefined. We'll fix this one. I am undefined alert header. There is no background. That's okay. Then success, I am success alert header. That's okay. Then error is like red one. Then I am warning alert header, that is of orange one. And then info one is the gray one. Okay, so that's how it works. So now we know what all kind of themes we can set: success, warning, error, info, and all. Let's fix that undefined message as well. So what I'll do is I'll go to the default button and I'll say name equal to default. So basically how this component works is, if they find the themes that is recognized, it's apply that theme. If you give the different name like Salesforce Troop or XYZ, it by default take that as a default. Okay, so let's deploy this again and see whether that undefined issue has been fixed or not, because we, even though here it comes as default, it automatically go and check whether the default name is there. They'll say okay, there is no default. If there is no name available, picked up the default that they have set in the code, and here it will print default alert header. So let's go and refresh the page and let's click default, and it says I am default alert header, and that's how the default basically looks like without any background. So till here all good. Now you might be thinking, if you go to the documentation, there is something mentioned called async, and here it's await. And to understand that, I am pretty sure very rare people would have explained you this concept here. So let's see first what's the consequence without using this. Okay, so now in real time you not only show an alert, but after the alert you perform some action as well. Okay, so suppose you are doing let x equal to 2, let y equal to 3, and then we have another method called add. It will receive a and b and will print console.log a plus. Okay, and here we'll call that method. I'm just generating a scenario. Basically I'm creating a scenario for you guys to understand the problem first. Okay, now when I click on the button, what I'm trying to achieve here is, whenever I click, first show alert to a user. Okay, and once he said okay, then only call this method. Okay, so now let's see what happened in this scenario. So we will click the button, it will open the, and then this will happen, or what. Let's see the sequence. Okay, so let's deploy this source to org. I just created two variables and passing those values. I could have passed directly as well, 2 and 3. So let's go to our org, refresh the page, and let's inspect. Let's open the inspector, go to the console, clear the console. For clearing, you can click this icon. Now when I click any of the alert, okay, let's open the success alert. It will call the method, and let's see whether it print the console or not. and let's print okay. Not printing anything. Let's see what happened. Are we doing something wrong here? Let's go to the source and make sure we are not messing up with small mistake like LightningAlert demo. I'll go here, put a breakpoint, and this is how we usually do. If you see, I can't see the even the code is there, so let's deploy it again. Sometimes the caching cause a lot of issue. Let's clear the cache and refresh the page. So the page is refreshed. Let's clear the console again. And when I click on success alert, it opened the alert, but you see immediately the sum as also is printing here. Like I'll zoom it. So you can see 5 is coming here. But our real-time use case is when the user click on OK, then only perform the rest of the action. Okay, so that's our use case. But here what you have seen, it opened the alert, but it didn't stop the execution. Okay, so to stop the execution, we have to think of a asynchronous approach. Okay, now here we have two approaches. Okay, some people like async and await. To use a await says you will not go to the next line until unless this method get resolved. And if I am using an await, by default this method gonna return to me. I'm pretty sure it return a promise. So once promise get resolved, I'll go to the next line. You can't use await as of now directly. So to use await, your parent method basically, or the method in which you are using await, should have a async keyword. So now you will realize what's the use case of async and await when you looked into their documentation. Okay, I'll show you the another way that I preferably like that, but let's go with that. I don't want you guys to think like I'm teaching wrong. So that's the reason why we come up with the async and await. That was a problem statement. Okay, so let's go and refresh the page again. Clear the console. Let's hit the success alert. When I click the success alert, you see nothing happen here, nothing printing until unless I click on OK. Then await will allow to go like perform the further execution. If I say OK, now you see it allowed to perform the further execution and it print 5. Okay, that is one way. Like you can use async and await, but if you don't want to use async and await, sometimes people not feel comfortable how async and await works, then you can use then. We'll say then result, like, because why I'm teaching you this one, because most of the people in calling the apex imperatively use this syntax. So use then, and let's put this inside the then, which means whenever this execution completes, then it comes to result. Let's print what it returns as well in form of result. Let's see if it prints anything or not. So let's deploy this source to org. So one way is async and await, another way is then approach. Okay, and let's press here the console, and let's see, this time alert method, nothing printing in the console. And if I say OK, and it print 5, result is not returning anything because there is only one action, that is OK, right? So it doesn't make sense to return something. Instead of result, you can put any underscore as well if you don't want to give any name, and you can remove this result. Any name you can give, or any like alpha character you want, X or Y, but that's okay. I'll prefer, if there is nothing coming, I'll prefer to use underscore. Okay, but for your understanding, I'll keep the result, and result always be undefined because there is only one action on alert. So that's how you play around with the lightning alert. And I'll repeat it quickly again. Lightning alert you import from the lightning/alert. Lightning alert has a method open. In that method you can pass message, label, and theme. There is one more property actually I forgot to discuss quickly. I'll just remember. That is like if I have a scenario, I want to hide the header, this header, how I'm gonna achieve that. And that's where our another property variant come into picture. And variant is headerless. If I say variant called headerless, and let's deploy, let's see whether it hide the header of our all alerts. So it's deployed. Let's refresh the page. Right. Close this console. Now you can see alert is coming still with the message, but there is no header. Let's go for success. Same thing, error, same thing, info, same thing. So these are the four properties that we have to make sure. Message is always mandatory to show the message. If you not pass the variant, by default it show the header. Label, if you not pass, it will show some default text that is called not adult, alert. And the theme by default is transparent background with some stripe, but if you can pass the theme names are success, warning, error, and info. And we use, if you have a requirement just to show alert and nothing to do, you can use without any then async await. But if you have a scenario in which you want to perform some action once the user close or perform an action on top of alert, then use then or async await. Otherwise it will continue the execution of the code without stopping for alert to get closed. So that's it, and that's pretty much about the lightning alert. I hope this video was helpful for you, and in the next video we'll talk about lightning confirm. Thank you.